Hello and welcome. Namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Coming up over the next 30 minutes. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh tells the lower house of Parliament all about Operation Sindoor and how it gave a befitting reply to Pakistan, destroying 9 terror hideouts in the wake of the Pahalgam terror attack. Thailand and Cambodia's leaders agree to an unconditional ceasefire after talks mediated by Malaysia. The US-EU trade deal struck between Donald Trump and von der Leyen on Sunday invokes mixed reactions from European leaders just the next day. And Divya Deshmukh scripts history, beating Grandmaster Koneru Hampi in an all-Indian final to become the first Indian champion of the FIDE Women's Chess World Cup. Well, the monsoon session of India's Parliament is underway. Lok Sabha is holding a special discussion on India's strong, successful and decisive Operation Sindoor in response to the terrorist attack in Pahalgam. Initiating the debate in the lower house of Parliament, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh emphasized that Operation Sindoor was a decisive and effective demonstration of India's stance against terrorism, adding that the military operation was an effective and well-coordinated strike against 9 terror sites.
हमारी सेनाओं द्वारा की गई वेल कोऑर्डिनेटेड स्ट्राइक्स ने 9 टेररिस्ट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर टारगेट्स को प्रिसीजन के साथ, सटीकता के साथ हिट किया और इस सैन्य कार्रवाई में एक अनुमान के अनुसार 100 से अधिक आतंकवादी, मैं बहुत संभल कर बोल रहा हूं अध्यक्ष महोदय, हमारी फिगर गलत ना होने पाए, फिगर इससे बहुत अधिक है, 100 से अधिक आतंकवादी, उनके ट्रेनर, उनके प्रशिक्षक, उनके हैंडलर, लश्कर तोयबा और हिजबुल मुजाहिदीन जैसे आतंकवादी संगठनों से संबंधित थे। ये वही आतंकी संगठन हैं जिन्होंने पाकिस्तान की सेना और ISI का जिन्हें खुला समर्थन प्राप्त है।
The minister added that Operation Sindoor showcased tri-service synergy.
Sindoor tri-services coordination का एक बेमिसाल उदाहरण था। जब भारतीय वायुसेना ने आसमान से हमले किए, हमारी थल सेना ने जमीन पर मोर्चा संभाल लिया। भारतीय नौसैनिकों ने पाकिस्तान को यह साफ संदेश दिया कि हम समुद्र से लेकर जमीन तक पाकिस्तान के हर महत्वपूर्ण ठिकानों पर प्रहार करने में न केवल सक्षम हैं बल्कि हम तैयार हैं।
Rajnath Singh added that overall political military objective of Operation Sindoor was to punish Pakistan for fighting a proxy war in the form of terrorism.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर का ओवरऑल पॉलिटिको मिलिट्री ऑब्जेक्टिव यह था कि आतंकवाद के रूप में प्रॉक्सी वार लड़ रहे पाकिस्तान को सजा दी जाए और इसी वजह से आर्म फोर्सेस को पूरी आजादी दी गई थी कि वे अपने टारगेट खुद चुनें और करारा जवाब दें। और इस ऑपरेशन का उद्देश्य कोई भी युद्ध छेड़ना नहीं था बल्कि फोर्स के डेमोन्स्ट्रेटिव यूज से एडवर्सरी को झुकने के लिए मजबूर करना था।
Further, the Defence Minister underscored that India halted its military action only after achieving its predefined political and strategic objectives, adding that any suggestion that Operation Sindoor was paused due to external pressure is completely baseless and factually incorrect.
इस ऑपरेशन का मकसद टेररिस्ट कैंप्स और उनके सपोर्टर्स को टारगेट करना, उन्हें नेस्त नाबूद करना था और ये साफ संदेश देना था कि भारत आतंकवाद के विरुद्ध जीरो टॉलरेंस रखता है। भारत ने कार्रवाई इसलिए रोकी क्योंकि कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के पहले और उसके दौरान जो भी पॉलिटिकल और मिलिट्री ऑब्जेक्टिव्स तय किए गए थे उसे हम पूरी तरह से हासिल कर चुके थे। इसलिए यह कहना, यह मानना कि यह ऑपरेशन किसी दबाव में रोका गया था, यह बेबुनियाद है और सरासर गलत है।
The minister also stressed that if Pakistan indulges in any fresh misadventure, the operation will resume again.
10 मई की सुबह जब भारतीय वायुसेना ने पाकिस्तान की मल्टीपल एयरफील्ड्स पर करारा प्रहार किया तो पाकिस्तान ने हार मान ली और हॉस्टिलिटी रोकने की उन्होंने पेशकश की। यह पेशकश इस कैबिनेट के साथ स्वीकार की गई हम लोगों के द्वारा कि यह ऑपरेशन केवल पाज किया गया है, स्थगित किया गया है। अगर पाकिस्तान की ओर से भविष्य में कोई भी मिस एडवेंचर हुआ तो यह ऑपरेशन, अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं सदन को आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं, दोबारा प्रारंभ होगा।
Now, 3 terrorists have been neutralized in an encounter that broke out in the upper reaches of Harwan area in central Kashmir's Srinagar district. Security forces launched a cordon and search operation in the forested Lidwas area following specific intelligence inputs. Contact with terrorists was established this morning, leading to a gunfight. In a post on social media platform X, the Chinar Corps of the Indian Army has confirmed the development, saying, Op Mahadev, contact established in general area of Lidwas, operation in progress. This was within quotes. Now, additional reinforcements have also been rushed to the area as the operation remains on. Let me now take you across directly to Srinagar. My colleague Shabir Dar is joining us from there. Shabir, what is the latest that you're getting on this operation? And if you can tell us a little bit more about who these terrorists are, it would really be appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, as I speak, the operation is on in the outskirts of Srinagar, in the Harwan area of Srinagar, which is just like up an hour drive from the Lal Chowk in Srinagar. So the encounter started in the morning, as I already said, that getting the tip up about the presence of terrorists in the forest area. The supporting forces, including army and CRPF and police, and the police launched a manhunt and then successfully neutralized the 3 terrorists and their bodies and identity. The bodies have been recovered, and the police, the senior spirit of the police in Srinagar is saying that the forces are in the process of identifying these terrorists. So as of now, the identity is not being ascertained by the security forces, and there were some speculations in the media that these terrorists were the associates of those terrorists who carried the dastardly Pahalgam attack on April 22. But that has not been confirmed by the security forces. So the army is going to brief the media anytime from now, because this operation is expected to conclude in a short span of time from now. So as of now, the identities of the terrorists is being ascertained by the police, and their association with those terrorists who carried the Pahalgam attack is also being verified. So the police is on the job. The forces are continuing the operation in the Srinagar outskirts. This only undermines the alertness and the readiness of the troops in Kashmir to thwart any terrorist strike, because the operation occurred just outside the Srinagar in a forest area. So had the terrorists not been neutralized, so we can guess what would their intention would have been in carrying the nefarious activities in Srinagar and in the other parts of the Kashmir.
Harwan itself has a lot of boutique hotels. Shabir, I've stayed in one myself some years back. But there's a lot of speculation that is going around, and we're waiting confirmation on that, of course, from the official sources, that whether these terrorists had any role in the Pahalgam terror attack. But just tell us right now, is the gun battle still on, or are the security forces simply mopping up?
The security forces are actually mopping up now. The last round of fire we heard is sometime back when the contact was established in the morning, and during this and 2 hours before there was some firing. But after that, as the army, the Chinar Corps in Srinagar confirmed that 3 terrorists were neutralized. So after that, there is no news of any exchange of fire. So it is a mopping up operation, and they are because that is a forest area, it will take some time for the forces to declare that the operation is closed, because they are just as we speak, they are mopping up the area to ensure that no more terrorists are holed up and are hiding in the forest area. So
right, and Shabir,
the operation is, yes.
Today itself, our Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that Operation Sindoor in Parliament, in the Lok Sabha, he said that if Pakistan indulges in any further misadventure, Operation Sindoor will resume. So what can we infer from that in this context, that there's an encounter that's been unfolding in the heart of the Kashmir Valley in Srinagar?
See, these terrorists, we know that the terrorists after the Pahalgam attack, they are, because the people who carried these attacks, they are somewhere hiding in the forests of, be it the Srinagar or in other parts of the Kashmir. So obviously the alert security forces, be it the army and the police, they are on manhunt to neutralize any terrorist who is hiding anywhere in Kashmir right now. So we can expect, because the terrorists are in hiding in some forest areas. So this encounter can be seen in that light, because the forces were behind these people. Maybe these people might not be the ones who actually carried out that Pahalgam attack, but there is speculation is that they are somehow related, somehow associated to these people. So the manhunt, the manhunt against terrorists in Kashmir is going on. The army and the police, they are on the job to ensure that the last terrorist is killed.
And any specific reason why, Shabir, this operation is called Operation Mahadev?
Because there's a ridge named in the name of Mahadev in that forest area. So obviously the army picked up the name and named this operation as Mahadev, because the Mahadev ridge, this operation occurred just near that ridge in that forest.
Okay, thanks a lot for joining us from Srinagar, Shabir. We're cutting across right now to India's Parliament, the lower house, where Bechant Pada is addressing the entire house. He's a BJP leader.
From immediately after independence, when Pakistan has been sending terrorists across the border, many efforts have been made over the decades. Many steps have been taken, including many conciliatory steps. Steps which have involved agreements on water, steps which have involved giving back land that has been captured, steps that have involved returning tens of thousands of prisoners of war. These steps have seen many different aspects. We have seen bus diplomacy. We have seen many different efforts. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, right from 2014, tried to reach out, tried to have an understanding with Pakistan to fight poverty together. Right from the beginning, he invited his counterpart, the Pakistani Prime Minister, for the oath-taking ceremony. He even walked into Lahore unannounced, unarmed, filled only with courage and with good intention. But that was repaid with more terror attacks on Indian soil, more Indian lives taken, with the sponsorship and the training of Pakistan. Sir, भारत ने हर बार शांति का हाथ बढ़ाया, पाकिस्तान ने हर बार आतंक का रास्ता अपनाया. This is the reality of our experience with cross-border terrorism. We have responded, sir, and it is important to point out the new normal that is now in place. We responded first with the surgical strikes. They did not relent. The Pakistanis still kept sponsoring, training, financing, sending terrorists across. We then responded with the Balakot airstrikes, and the airstrikes are a message which have continued till today. No one who kills Indians will sleep peacefully, not across the border, not even in the safety of their homes. They will be tracked down and they will be killed inside their own homes. But this time in Pahalgam, this new law which was achieved required Operation Sindoor. Sir, they attacked tourists and we attacked terrorists. We did not target Pakistan's civilians. Our response, Operation Sindoor, was precise, it was measured, and it targeted terrorist sites. And only when Pakistan escalated did we then hit back at many more sites. Sir, this is not a reaction. This is a doctrine. This is the Modi doctrine. This is the new normal which Pakistan has now understood. Let me say this clearly, sir, that the India of today is not the India of 2008. This is very important because this turnaround, this new normal, is because of our changed policies. Sir, we must give full credit to our armed forces. The Honorable Defense Minister has pointed out their bravery, their sacrifices for the nation, and during this conflict also, what is important is, one question was asked, what about China? I have several things to say about China, but let me point out, when the Honorable Defense Minister said that the Indian Air Force bypassed and jammed air defense systems of Pakistan in 22 minutes, those were Chinese-supplied air defense systems that were neutralized in just 22 minutes. Sir, what is not often talked about, one thing we must, of course, acknowledge is that the entire country stood united on Operation Sindoor. I'm glad that even some friends across the aisle, across the other benches today, reiterated that. But sometimes, some honorable members have not been beneath taking this issue into domestic politics. I will come into that. One of the aspects that did not get talked about is that in this operation, where 11 air bases of a nuclear-armed country was hit. This is perhaps a first. This is perhaps a first that the armed bases of a nuclear-armed country was hit by India, 11 of them, and it destroyed 20% of Pakistan's Air Force assets. This is something that is worth remembering. The 9 bases of terrorists, their camps, which were neutralized, involved those of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, those of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, those of the Hizbul Mujahideen, all proscribed terror organizations who have long targeted India with the support of Pakistan. They are Pakistani based, they are Pakistani. Sir, we have talked about more than 100 terrorists being eliminated in Operation Sindoor's hit on Pakistan. It is also important to point out that at least 5 of them were very infamous names known around the world. Names like Mudassar Khadian Khas, senior operator of LET. This is the person who was given a guard of honor by the Pakistani military. Khalid alias Abu Akasha, another Lashkar-e-Taiba commander. Muhammad Yusuf Azhar, wanted in the IC 814 hijack terror attack. Hafiz Muhammad Jamil, brother-in-law of Maulana Masood Azhar, and Muhammad Hassan Khan, Jaish-e-Mohammed commander. These are very significant names. These are very significant achievements in eliminating these terrorists. On the other hand, Pakistan's attempt to retaliate failed. And it pains me that friends in the opposition who have questioned India, who have questioned the successes achieved by the Indian armed forces, haven't pointed out these failures of Pakistan, nor have they asked these questions of Pakistan. Sir, Pakistan attacked Jammu University. It attacked the UN field station in Kashmir. These were neutralized, as the Honorable Defense Minister pointed out, by the UAS unmanned aerial system grid. India's actions were purely to counter terrorism and hit terrorists, decoupling the issue from any other disputes. Sir, Sir, if we look at the new normal that I have been talking about, it is important to understand what the past was. In the past, on a regular basis, almost on a daily basis, Pakistani sponsored terrorists were attacking India and killing Indians. Sir, if I give you a short list of the previous terror attacks and our responses, you will understand, sir, and I hope all our friends will understand that the new normal indeed is very dramatically different. Sir, 2005, Delhi serial blasts. A dossier was sent to Pakistan. So 2006, Varanasi bombings. India raised the issue in Indo-Pak talks. Mumbai attacks, sir, 2008, when so many people were killed and the then government decided not to retaliate. What is most shameful is that retaliation was considered. Retaliation was planned by our armed forces, but the then government did not permit retaliation. It is on record that the then senior-most officials of the government, whether it was the Foreign Secretary, whether it was the then NSA, took a decision not to hit back at Pakistan. This is what is really shocking, sir. 2006, Mumbai terror bombings. Sir, it is also important to point out that after the Mumbai attacks, 7 months after that, the then Prime Minister met the Pakistani president on the sidelines of the SCO summit in Russia and decided that India and Pakistan would continue dialogue. So we kept appeasing them. Our governments of the day over decades kept appeasing them, putting no pressure on them to stop their terror funding, terror organizing. Sir, in 2006, 2 months after the Mumbai train bombings, the then Prime Minister met Pakistani President Musharraf on the sidelines of the NAM summit in Havana and again agreed to maintain the peace process. So that so-called peace process was no peace process at all. It was only peaceful for Pakistan. Indians in large numbers were sacrificed. India was attacked repeatedly and large numbers of Indians were harmed and killed. Sir, worst of all, in 2009, within 8 months of the Mumbai terror attack, the then Prime Minister met his Pakistani counterpart at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt and agreed to again continue the cooperation with Pakistan. This for a country that for 78 years has been attacking India ceaselessly. Our approach in the past was only to cooperate, only to talk, not to retaliate, not to teach them a lesson. Sir, the worst part of this at Sharm el-Sheikh was a reference to Balochistan, which can be interpreted as if India and Pakistan are equated, as if India does similar things to Pakistan, whereas the issues are entirely different. There are no terror camps in India training terrorists and sending them to Balochistan. There is no equation at all. There is no comparison at all. And yet, our government of the day had no compunction in granting such a hyphenation with Pakistan. Sir, this can go on and on. There are many, many different such examples, and I will come to some of them. Sir, one question has been raised as to whether there was pressure on India to conclude the hostilities. There was absolutely no pressure on India. This has been pointed out again and again. Sir, any country can call and make suggestions. Anybody can do that. We as members of parliament can call up our counterparts when they are in the midst of hostilities, and we can give them suggestions. That is not how the hostilities ended. Sir, India has pointed out very, very clearly that this is a bilateral issue, and we have no intention of escalating. We would stop hostilities if Pakistan requested. And until and unless Pakistan directly requested India, we did not stop the hostilities. It had no relation, no connection to any requests by anybody else until Pakistan directly requested India. And sir, I ask my friends in the opposition, this has not been contradicted by anyone. Has anyone contradicted India's assertion that we insisted that it had to be a Pakistani request that we will respond to? And Pakistan finally came to its knees and requested, and that is what we responded to. Now, it is shameful that many in our country keep questioning the Indian armed forces, keep questioning the Indian government, and don't question what Pakistan stands for, what Pakistan says. Sir, I want to point out what Pakistan has said. They made absurd claims. Pakistan has made a claim to an international TV channel on 7th May. Pakistan's IB minister, Ataullah Tarar, said, there are no terrorist camps in Pakistan. Have any of our friends in the opposition questioned that? Many of them have been quoted repeatedly in international media. Have any of them questioned that? Pakistan, where the most infamous terrorist in memory, the Al-Qaeda chief, was sheltered next to an army base, claiming that it doesn't have terror camps. When terror camps have been pointed out in satellite imagery, not only terror camps have been pointed out, because of the efforts of our government, many terrorist organizations and many individual terrorists have been proscribed by a variety of multilateral organizations, including the United Nations itself. Sir, I would like to point out that when the Honorable Congress member from Assam talked about certain things, I think it does deserve a response. I compliment him and others who said that they stand with the government of India. But the questions and the accusations against the government cannot go unanswered. Sir, it was amusing when he asked when POK would be got back. Sir, it was amusing when he referred to the number of Rafales and the China question. Sir, I would like to point out, and he used the point and he used the word that India bowed down. And his leader, whom he cited today in relation to the China question, has often used the word surrender. I think it is important for this House to point out how many times over the decades Congress has surrendered India's interest. Please have the patience to listen to this. 1948, Pakistan illegally occupied 78,000 square kilometers, the same POK that my friend was referring to. When our armed forces wanted just a little bit more time to conclude the armed operations and take it back, the then Prime Minister took the matter to the UN. Surrender. Number one, it started from day one. 1949, Congress ignored the Kabah Valley, which was leased to Burma by UK. Manipur had received rent until 1949. Congress did nothing about it. Surrendered that. Surrender number two. Sir, in 1954, our then Prime Minister conceded India's rights in Tibet, accepting China's annexation without gain, withdrawing our military escorts and services. A very major surrender. Number three. Sir, in 1958, under the Noon-Nehru Pact, Berubari was transferred to East Pakistan, despite severe opposition. Another surrender. So I lose count of the number of surrenders, but there are quite a lot. Please allow me to point out a few more. If I list all the surrenders that Congress did of India's national interest, then the 16 hours that the Honorable Speaker has granted us will not be enough. But I will point out a few more. Sir, in the 1950s, our then Prime Minister rejected the proposal for a UN permanent seat for India in the Security Council. Surrender to China. Surrender. 1960, India conceded the Sarja Majra, Rakh Hardit Singh, Pathan Ke, Suleiman Ke and Chak Lereke in Punjab to Pakistan. Another surrender. Sir, our then Prime Minister, played down the valley of Aksai Chin in 1959, calling it barren and uninhabited, when in fact it is full of mineral resources, dismissing conflict with China. Another surrender. Sir, I can just go on and on and on. In 1963, Pakistan conceded more than 5,000 square kilometers in POK to China. India stayed silent. Surrender. So I can just keep going on. In 1965, India returned the Haji Pir Pass to Pakistan under the Tashkent Agreement. Surrender. Sir, under the 1971 Shimla Agreement, India returned 5,000 square miles to Pakistan, while Pakistan retained 30,000 square miles, and 93,000 Pakistani soldiers were released, while at the same time, 56 Indian soldiers died in Pakistani jails. There are so many other surrenders, sir. If I keep listing all the surrenders, then as I said, the whole time will be taken up. Sir, I can tell you that there are many, many more surrenders that the Congress party did of Indian interest. And since the issue of China was raised, I think it is important to point out, isn't it the leader of the opposition who on social media is seen praising China's capabilities, China's drones? Has he once ever complimented the Indian armed forces and the Indian indigenous technologies? Has it happened? Sir, let me point out, others are pointing this out. Others are saying that India has done very well on this front. International.
Well, they say the discussion on Operation Sindoor related to the Pahalgam terror attack is taking place in the Lok Sabha, which is the lower house of the Indian Parliament. We just heard Baijant Panda, Jay Panda, as he's more popularly known, BJP leader, spokesperson, as well as member of the Lok Sabha from Kendrapada in the state of Odisha, addressing the media, criticizing how the Congress has capitulated in the past and has not taken stern action against Pakistan, but only pandered to those who are peaceniks in the past as well. So those things are being pointed out in contrast to the kind of action that was taken by his party's government at the centre, led by Prime Minister Modi, after the terror attack in Pahalgam in the form of Operation Sindoor. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for all the latest, keep watching DD India. You can download the app as well. If you want to do that, those are the QR codes for both iOS and Android. So please do. And we'll be back with more as more news breaks here in DD India. I'm Gautam Roy from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.